This shade right here is our inspiration for the day. Let's see where this look takes us. We're gonna start with some clean canvas. I want it to be very full coverage. So we're gonna use this. This is probably the most full coverage eyeshadow base I have. Just make sure it's nice and smoothed out. I also wanted to film closer today so you can really see how I'm gonna place the shadows, how I'm thinning out product across the lid. I just feel like you can see a lot of detail if I film the eye this way. This is the Viseart Cool Mattes palette. I'm gonna start with that shade. Notice that I did pick up quite a bit of it. This is gonna be our transition shade. And I know that pink doesn't seem like where we should head, but this is actually gonna be really pretty. It's gonna have a lot of coolness to it. And it's gonna be a beautiful transition as we move on. But also notice that I'm pushing that and really pressing it into the eyeshadow base. It's gonna be a little hard for me to think right now because Gene Bean is absolutely honk shoeing and I just wanna crack up laughing. Picked up more of that pink. Listen to him. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, I picked up more of the pink and we're gonna pull it over this way, still pressing to really work it into that base. Grabbing this shade now. That's gonna go on top. We're kind of just tinting the pink. I feel like when we get mattes on our eyes, sometimes we forget we can layer them to kind of change and shift the color. So that is something to take note of. And think of the pink as a brightener. You know how we use pink powder to brighten things? And even though we're gonna add some darker shadows here, there's always gonna be that little bit of lift and brightening to the eye. Still using the E28, we're gonna grab that shade, but I grabbed it on the tip of the brush. That way I can kind of feel around for the socket here, going right under that bone. Kind of creepy, but I do feel that when I was told more of what to feel for instead of what to look for, it was a lot easier for me to then start to understand my eye shape. So just push that through here. I think I'll leave the center through here bare. We're gonna use this as our blur shade. So your blur shade is pretty close to your skin tone. It can be a little darker, a little lighter. I'm gonna start right here. Okay, I'm starting right here in the center. I'm gonna start by tapping, and then I'm gonna do some circular motions and blur all of this together. And I'm not gonna worry too much about this lid space here. We're gonna come back and put some sparkle there later, of course. But let's just start to really blur and melt everything together. And this is the E29, I'm gonna use that. It's really, really soft and it's not gonna disturb, but it is going to melt. Switching to the E27, it's just on one side. I'm gonna start to push this onto my lid, connect it in here, and I'm gonna grab more of that same shade. We're gonna do the same thing over here. I feel like stamping is always a really good idea. That way you get your initial shape, then you can kind of just move your head around and fill in any kind of blank spaces. Now I can shut one eye at a time. I know not a lot of us can, but what we can do is tilt our head back for sure. And then if you do have a little bit more of a hooded eye, the stamping at first really does make a difference, and then you could just kind of lift up very gently with another brush and then fill in gaps. Now I'm just going to take whatever base is still on the brush, transition these sides, smooth everything out that wasn't set, and this little bit of grip is going to enhance our shimmer. Now we're going to pick it up on this flat brush, and the reason why is because I want it to be very pigmented right in the center. That is exceptional. Wow, that's like so shiny. Ooh, I'm excited. Then we'll pick up just a little bit, and we're doing this on the fluffier brush because we want it less concentrated, and we'll just soften the edges over this way and soften the edges over this way, and a little bit through here. Then I'm gonna take this shade again, and I feel like anytime you can transition the lid space from the lighter back to the darker, it really makes a difference, and it even makes your shimmer in the center pop more. Then I'm gonna take just a little bit of the black. Notice I grabbed that in the center of the brush, and I'm just gonna push that really close to the lash line on both sides. What I like to do to clean up this type of glitter is, notice I have a little bit of translucent powder on here. That's gonna make sure that this is really nice and dry. And I'll first just kind of lightly dust off any excess. Then I take a fluffy brush, and notice how I'm going back inwards instead of spreading it out this way. I'll just keep doing this, and it does get off most of it. We're gonna do our Ardell 424s. This is probably one of my favorite drugstore lashes. I do want to show you really quickly. See how they're going to be a little bit flared? That's my favorite type of lash. But let's let them get a little bit acquainted. And these just have regular glue. I use Duo Line It Lash It, but I still place from the center. And see how that's lifting? That's completely normal at this point, because I do want them to get a little bit more tacky. I'm going to clamp here. Then I'll work over here, because I know that this is nice and set. And really what messes us up a lot of times with regular lash glue and lashes is they kind of just keep lifting and pulling back and forth. But see how easy that was? I'm gonna put black liner out here and in here. Let's leave the center bare. And then I feel like this Kiko Milano liner, this is shade 18. I feel like it's gonna match the shadow and just give a little bit of shine to the center. You know what I really want to come back from CoverFX is their custom cover drops. Do you remember those? You might not, but if you do, those were ahead of their time because they were just pure pigment drops. And what I didn't understand at the time is that that was the thinnest version of pigment, and I didn't know what I had. I didn't understand. I loved them, but I didn't use them to their full potential. So we need to bring those back. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to hop off and film the difference between pink and purple brighteners. How pretty are these? Stay tuned for that video. Let's see if we like pink or purple brightener. We're using these as brighteners today. They're gonna go on top of concealer. Let's do the purple on this side, pink on this side. Let's blend out the purple. We're gonna blend out the pink. Purple before we set, pink before we set. Let's go ahead and set both sides. Now, which side looks brighter to you, the purple or the pink? Tell me in the comments. All right. I can definitely see a difference. I don't want to give it away here. I want you to see the video. But then I want to do a follow-up video and tell you why one side does look a little bit brighter and what the difference can be. But first, I'm just going to do my powder bronzer, my YSL. I love this bronzer. Warm up my nose. And then I'll just bring a little bit on the jawline. Less for chisel, just for what I like to call flow, the makeup flowing from forehead down to chest. We're gonna use this blush. This is from the brand 𝗕𝗏. Isn't this so pretty? Watch it go on. It's like a pink powder skin glaze. That's pretty exceptional, that application. And again, it's a powder. It's 100% a powder, but it's not too shimmery. It literally just goes on like a powder glaze. That is just stunning to me. I'm actually gonna do brown liner underneath here, right underneath the lashes. E27 to smudge. Then I'm gonna grab this pinker part of my Givenchy pressed. And I'm gonna look up and I'm just going to soften these edges and just do a little bit of a pink blur. I'm feeling a little extra spicy. I'm gonna take my Jones Road gel liner and an E26. The E26 is coming back very soon, and I'm just going to give us a little pointed inner corner, or what I like to call my bird beak. This color intrigues me, but it's gonna be a trust the process. Also, these are new from Charlotte Tilbury. Look how cute the packaging is. It reminds me of when I was a little girl. This color is called Kiss Talk. And you can see it's not quite as loud as it looks, but I do love this color. I'm gonna pair it with my favorite Vive lip liner, and I feel like the texture of this lip, it's not really a lipstick, I was gonna say this lipstick, but it's more of a balm texture with a lot of pigment. I did want you to see that. And don't mind that, that's not patchiness, that's my little ligament here. But I really, really like it. I feel like I would wear this more than I'd even wear some of the other Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. Dare I say I found a new favorite lip combo. Y'all are about to be sick of this combo. This is, to me, chef's kiss. All right, my friends, this is our finished look. Eyeshadow, foundation, blush. This is a good makeup day to me. I like my makeup. I like my makeup every day, but you know that those some days you do your makeup and you're just like, this is good stuff. Gene cannot be bothered. He doesn't care. He's resting. All right, my friends, I love you so much. I think I'm just gonna leave Gene in here. I'm not even gonna wake him up. That is some serious hongshu. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing in makeup, and thank you for putting up with the snore machine. I love you with all my heart, and bye for now.